This is The Nose. Not the nose or a nose, but The Nose. And you're listening to Cider Chat, and we're celebrating episode 250.
The Brown Snout Band is on from 1 to 3.
Check.
The Ellis Bitter Band is on from 4 to 6.
Check.
The Pink Ladies a cappella group is on from 6:30 to 7:30.
They asked for a 2-hour slot, and I said okay.
Wait a minute, Mr. Quince. That means that you won't have any time to do your comedy routine.
Maybe we could wait for the 300th episode.
Check.
Medlars, wait a minute.
Sorry, Rhea.
Move on to the next item, Perry Pear.
A barrel of juice for the wild yeast.
Check.
Wait a minute, Palms. Mr. Quince has been taking the Steve Martin online comedian course for quite a while, perfecting his routine. I've heard a little bit of it, and he's really, really good. So allow me to speak to the Pink Ladies now.
Good luck with that, Rhea.
Check.
Come on, Palms, have a little bit of faith. I know that at last year's after party, the Pink Ladies
refused to leave the stage, Rhea.
Check.
Yeah, I know. But this is a new year, a new harvest, a new season. Let's just keep it in the realm of possibilities. Okay?
I think it's time to record episode 250.
Yes, I agree, Mr. Quince, and I happen to see the Nose is walking down Orchard Lane right now towards the Cider House. So how about if you all move into the control room and I get set up here and get to it with the Nose?
Check, check.
Hello and welcome to Cider Chat. My name is Rhea Windcaller, and I'm the producer and cider MC of this weekly podcast, where we speak with makers, cider enthusiasts, and folks within the cider trade from around the world. Hip, hip, hooray! If you are new to Cider Chat, well, welcome to the 250th episode. We are closing out Season 5 and moving into Season 6.
Going up, going up.
And for all the regular listeners of Cider Chat, well, coming into this episode, we had the Nose doing the intro. And the Nose, by the way, is going to be the featured guest on this week's episode 250. And then we also heard from the Talking Palms. That would be Perry Pear, the Medlars, and Mr. Quince. Getting to the 250th episode of Cider Chat is all made possible due to the generous and kind support of the patrons of Cider Chat. Many of the return addresses of the fine patrons of Cider Chat are both within the U.S. and internationally, which just goes to show you that cider has no boundaries. The passion and love of cider is universal. It's something that we share around the world, raising our glass in good cheer to all. There is a special level for patrons within the cider industry, and it's called the Cider Going Up campaign. And the following have been supporters at this level throughout 2020. I'd like to thank Dan at SpaceTime Mead and CiderWorks. He's based in Dunmore, Pennsylvania, which is outside of Scranton, Pennsylvania. So you're thinking on the east side of the great state, or I should say Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, a very rich growing apple region of our country. And then there's also InCiderJapan. In fact, Lee Reeve of InCiderJapan, who has been editing and publishing this bilingual Japanese and English magazine for a number of years now, will be a speaker at the virtual conference for CiderCon 2021. And I'd like to thank John Edwards at Process NMR Analysis, who provides cider makers analysis of your liquid. So check him out. He is based on the East Coast in Connecticut. And from time to time, you've been hearing me talk about a cidery based in South London in an apartment, no less, where the makers have to carry, well, they don't even own a car. They rent a car for this. They carry all the apples from one end of the street all the way through their apartment hallway to the back where their kitchen is. And they have this little postage stamp. I mean, smaller. It's like half a postage stamp backyard where they are fermenting cider. It's an amazing situation, and they're making really great cider and perry. So a big tip of the glass to both Colleen and James. And I'd like to welcome the newest folks to join the Cider Going Up campaign at ciderchat.com. And at this point, I want to just give you a little reminder, if you can, this is a good point to fill your glass, because I have a little letter to read from Jared Scott, the owner, along with his wife, of EsoTerra Ciderworks. So make sure you fill up your glass there, or if you can't drink right now, that's okay. I'm going to read this letter anyways. Jared writes, all I could say is thank you, thank you, thank you. That's 3 thank yous for Cider Chat. My wife and I opened a cidery in Southwest Colorado, which was a dream I've been pursuing for 7 years now. Being a student of the craft, I have spent countless hours reading textbooks on winemaking, cider making books, delving through beer making and winemaking forums, and the Cider Workshop Google group forum, trying to become a better cider maker. We strive to make the best we can with the hope that our cider is the best cider that our customers have ever tasted. You go at it, man. I guess the best way to describe the cider we make is wine-like. But I really don't like using that description because it implies cider has an identity crisis. Wow, Jared, I so agree with you. And cider doesn't have identity crisis. It's just humans getting in their own way around it. Anyways, he continues with, but it makes sense. As a cider maker, I'm applying ideas and techniques from the wine, beer, the European cider worlds, and American knowledge resurrected from who knows where, whether it's from some old books from the 1800s or listening to a local old-timer in our town talking about the apples from when they were a kid over a half a century ago. Oh man, those sound like some old timers I'd like to record. Anyways, he continues, and as cidery owners, we are constantly educating our customers that our cider is different. It's not that sugary 6-pack cider stuff you've had in the past. Although there is a lot of information out there online and in books, I feel like the content I've heard in the last year of listening to Cider Chat for free, again, thank you, has been the most influential info for improving my cider making ability. Oh, thank you. The episodes with Ryan Monkman have been truly inspiring. I've never been a person to have an idol, but Ryan may be my first. Oh yeah, he's definitely my idol too, Jared. His passion for cider making, the constant experimentation, the pursuit to learn are like a breath of fresh air to me. I would have been reluctant to do a barrel ferment if it wasn't for listening to Ryan on Cider Chat. But we just released our first barrel fermented cider, and all I could say is, wow, I've never made anything like that before. It blows me away how different and complex and tasty it is. I hope our donation to Cider Chat helps continue your cause and will inspire other fledgling cider makers to learn more about the craft. Thanks so much, keep up the good work, and congrats on your 250th episode. Thank you so much, Jared. Thank you all the patrons out there. And if you'd like to become a patron today, well, just go to ciderchat.com. There's a donate button, or go to the Cider Chat Patreon page. That's spelled Patreon. All right. Wow. Well, I'll tell you, this 250th episode is becoming a little bit more emotional than I thought it would be. Thanks to Jared's letter and to all the kind words that are just out there in the world and the support. You can't know. Right now, we all need a lot of support, right? And putting out Cider Chat weekly at this kind of level. Yeah, flooring me, Ciderville. I love you to pieces. So, Mr. Quince, I'm going to ask that you roll out the recording that we did just a little bit while ago with the nose and head there next.
So good to see you, Rhea.
We've been doing this for 5 seasons.
We have indeed. It's nice to have this quiet time before the party.
It's really awesome to have this quiet time before the party because it's going to be a bit wild tonight.
Oh, I totally caught that vibe walking in here. I think I heard some of the bands warming up.
You're right about that. You're right about that. I think the wild yeasts are already in that fresh pressed apple juice.
I bet they are.
In fact, I see that you brought some apple juice and poured us some cups. What do you have there?
I did. It's a sweet cider from a local fruit farm called Clarkdale. Mm-hmm. Very tasty.
Oh, that just clears the palate, doesn't it? Just the right amount of sweetness. It's a thick cider, isn't it?
It's always been one of my favorite because it has that thicker texture to it.
You know, these are like late season apples that they're pressing. Mm-hmm. And anybody who's been out to our special spot of Ciderville, this area would know Clarkdale is one of the locations on the cider trail. Fantastic. Oh,
yep. I'm sure that we're all wondering what stood out for season 5.
Think of all the seasons of Cider Chat so far. This one was...
You were busy. You were busy.
Well, the first part of season 5 was cranking, and I traveled right up to the world closing. Right up to that.
You pretty much had 3 months of movement, right?
Yeah. You know, starting off season 5 and doing some travels to California and setting up a mini version of the Monterey Cider Tour, and then coming back to the East Coast and then going back out again to actually lead a cider tour for the American Cider Association and then the Oakland Cider Con, seeing people there. And I was just kind of holding myself a little bit because I knew I'd be home for a week and then a week later going to France. While in France, knowing that the world, you know, coming up from Italy, the world was starting to shut down. Mm-hmm. And that was the end of your trip. Is that true? Like the last week or so? You were hearing little pieces of it, sprinkling around. And, you know, of course, when I'm traveling like that, I'm not always like so tuned into the news, but you knew something was going on. But we had this like invincibility kind of complex where, you know, it never happens in your backyard.
Right.
And being in Paris, going to the Louvre, it was so quiet. And then coming home, I was home for a week and I shot out to Boston and did a presentation for another piece of work that I do, my conflict management consulting. And we were up on the 34th floor of the skyscraper across from Biogen, which was like the hotspot of where COVID had hit in Boston.
Right.
And got kicked out of the skyscraper and said they were shutting down a 36th floor skyscraper. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you know, it was like, that was season 5, the beginning. And then came home. I got that work done, came home, and then the world shut down.
Right.
So that was the beginning of season 5. And what really stood out for me in this year, and I'm sure it resonates with everybody out in Ciderville, is you have to live each day as if it's your last. Mm-hmm. And that just turns us around in a different way. It's like, you know, sees the world and sees the opportunities that's right there. So drink the good stuff. Don't put it off. I got a bottle from Fair Game. It's a distillery in North Carolina. Guy by the name of Al Sachs. I mentioned him on the podcast from time to time. Just a wonderful guy. Big part of Cider Days here. And he brought a bottle back from visiting his grandchild and seeing down there. And, you know, normally I'd have a bottle like that and I wouldn't open it for a while. It's like, open up the Fair Game. It's fair game. Everything's fair game. You know? What are you waiting for?
Savor the cider now.
Exactly. Oh, I like that.
And we have the time. Mm-hmm. We have the time now to slow down and taste it all.
Yeah.
You were talking about hitting the brakes. Mm-hmm. And we got through March and, oh, yep, please. You know, COVID is obviously having a huge impact across the world right now. Mm-hmm. And, you know, can you say a bit about how it's affecting Cider Chat and how you might be doing things differently?
Well,
Aside from the obvious not being able to meet with people.
Right, and drinking on my cider, possible, not wasting time. Well, we had to all hunker down. We're all still hunkering down. And I really reevaluated my queue of episodes. You follow what I'm saying there? Like you have, there is a plan.
Sure, right.
Of how you're setting it up.
I know that you're not winging it all the time. Maybe it's just a little.
Most of the time, right? So what changed this year, and I've done this a little bit, but I really got into series. And I thought that was awesome. And we, as always, my dear friend Ryan Monkman of Fieldbird Cider up in Ontario, he really, he always comes through in so many ways. And so we did the Ask Ryan series, which was super informative. People could be sending in different questions, and he's just such a powerhouse in that way. We had the Russian Cider Maker series. And then more recently this fall, we had the Making Cider. That was 7 episodes or something like that.
Right.
And a whole bevy of episodes focused on sanitation, working with the Stormalong team. It was very hard for me initially when the world shut down. I felt lost a little bit. Like, what can I talk about? What is pertinent right now? So we've done a couple, catch up to, COVID from different sites. And I put out to, and this still stands, I put out to the world, anybody in the cider trade, anybody really who wanted to send in an audio snapshot.
That's right.
And to tell us a little bit of what's going on for you. How are you getting through it? Just so beautiful to hear from Lee Reeve in Japan, or the Forbes at Little Pomona,
and Carol B. Hillman
and Albert Johnson, and Red Island Cider up in Prince Edward Island. I don't want to get it confused with Prince Edward County. The fact that folks took the time to send in these little snapshots and cue us in what's happening, it meant the world for people around the world. We're still needing that, to know that we're okay here and there, and that we're not alone. Because, you go anywhere and it could kind of feel like a little bit of a ghost town. So that connectiveness is so important now more than ever. It makes me a little weepy.
We all need to be connected.
Yeah. As bad as it is, and as my mother loves to say, I hope the virus goes away and never comes back. She's so damn cute. But we all feel that way. And if we work together, we're going to make it happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you see happening in the market trends? It seems like a lot of people are contacting you saying that they're starting up a cidery now, or have recently.
Right. That gives me so much hope. That just shows you that despite the situation for 2020 and bizarre year it's been, there is so much hope. It's mind-boggling. Another email comes in, more people, and they're making their plans to do their cidery, and I love that. I love that piece. I think there's the two trends is that there's a lot of DIYs. People have been doing it on their own. Hobbyists who are slowly shifting now into the commercial level. And the exciting piece for me for cider right now is we're on that 10-year period, 2010 to 2020. And so we've had that time where there are some more apple varieties available. And on top of that, folks have gotten a lot more educated on scrumping for apples. Because some of the high-end ciders that we'll see out there, at least in the U.S., are makers who are scrumping apples themselves. They're not necessarily their own orchards that they're getting it from. So they're going out on the roadways and all that, and
bringing in a lot more variety.
More structure and complexity to the cider. And that gives me a lot of hope, because we're seeing what we expected before, is that we're getting a more educated palate that wants the essence of cider, which is the fruit. And it's all about the fruit. I think about that keg of pear cider that I have. The tiny little amount of pears in it just blew that cider out of the water, just made it so fantastic. So the fruit, it's all about the fruit. And we're seeing quality fruit coming in. That really makes me super happy and absolutely hopeful for the coming year, the coming season. So that's a big trend.
Awesome. Can we have a sneak peek into season 6 plans?
First off, about season 6, it's really going to be kind of going on the coattails of season 5 with the series. So very shortly, I'll be putting out a series on building a cidery.
Nice.
And I'm stoked about that. I just spoke to Steve Garwood at Ragged Hill. In just a couple weeks, I'm going to go down and speak to Soham at Artifact. That is a cidery. They have 2 different locations in Cambridge and then in Florence, Mass. And different viewpoints on how people are looking at these areas. They're already happening. They're doing it. They've been in it for a while.
They're established.
They're established operations. And so looking at their current equipment, what they would wish they had done and done differently, and what they're really happy they did do. So I think folks are really going to be digging that.
I've actually been to both of those cideries, and what I found really fascinating is that they're completely different styles.
Yeah.
Right? And beautiful for their own right.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And of course, Ryan has his 2 cents on this too, which I'm going to hold back on what he recommends for somebody starting out with cider. So folks will have to wait for that part 1.
How exciting.
Yeah, it is. That's going to be really cool. Then there's also going to be more on quince, because I'm working with Vermont Quince. And at Vermont Quince, I have an amazing recording coming up on growing quince and managing all that. And then we're going to be following up on the tasting that you and I did for the quince.
That was so much fun.
Oh, yeah. There's so much to learn. So much that I don't know. And that's the beauty of doing Cider Chat. And also, I'm collaborating with the New England Apple Association. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that truthfully, and I think anybody out there in Ciderville can really relate to this. Right now, I'm looking at my life in terms of quarters. So the next 4 months. So we're like December, January, February, March. That's as far as I could look, because beyond that, who knows what the world will bring, right?
That totally makes sense.
I'm going to be drinking lots of cider. If I could, do something that I couldn't have done before, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to delay. I'm going to live my life, probably as I've always done, but keep on at another level of just reaching for the stars. And I really want to encourage everybody out there in Ciderville to do that too. Don't delay. Don't put off tomorrow what you could do today. I have a couple questions for you this time, Nose. And I think it really is the perfect time. A 5-year period is, and we call it season, but it's 5 years, right? Is a time where you're really, it's a marker. And so I think it's about time on season 5, the 250th episode, that we find out a little bit more about the nose and how you came about being a nose, and what does it mean to be the nose?
I had a feeling you might ask me that at the 250th. I'm not sure why. I've had that as a marker in my own head.
Fortune teller.
Well, my being the nose started as a nickname because of my ability to sniff aromas. I have a really strong olfactory system, and I use it. I'm able to put it to good use drinking cider, and I enjoy doing that. And so over the last 5 years, I've just continued to try ciders and see what I can pull out, both in the aroma and the taste, and just really growing my palate. I started drinking, I started in medium dry ciders, but I tended towards sweeter ciders. I liked the flavored raspberry and blueberry, and now they taste like cough syrup to me. My palate's really grown over the last 5 years by all the things that I've tried.
How do you build one's skill as the nose? Because to be quite honest, your sense of smell, your sense of taste is at a different degree than mine. I do not have that depth. I mean, you were tasting the vanilla out of that quince when, and you brought me there to it, but I didn't get it. Essentially, when we were tasting it, and yeah.
I'm sorry. I think it's something that you're born with. Don't get me wrong. Don't please. don't.
Well, we all have noses.
Of course we do.
If we're lucky
and they
enough.
all work differently, just like our palates taste differently, right? So, I'm really good at slowing down at times, and because of that, I can tune into each one of my senses. I'm a very kinesthetic person, so I listen with my hands a lot, and so I think that ability to focus on one particular sense. Might actually just be a way that I have an enhanced skill. I don't know.
I don't know. You're just lucky, girl. So
Well, I'll take it.
yeah, right on. So how do you build that if it's not innate to you, that sense of smell? How does one build their sense? I mean, there's different. I know there's different courses out there, but how do you do that?
I think that,
Recommendation.
well, piggybacking on what I was saying earlier, I think if you want to improve any sense, practice closing off your other senses. So
Blindfold yourself.
try to you're right.
Really?
Like have a blindfolded tasting. Pull a bunch of things, have fun with a friend if you have somebody there, or do it
Can
for
we
yourself.
just blindfold the bottles, or do you blindfold yourself?
No, you're blindfolding yourself. You don't want
Really?
the bottles to tip over.
Right. Well, I've never done that before. I mean, I've done blind tastings where we cover the bottles and we don't know what's in the bottle. But you're actually saying, I'm
saying actually, yes.
That is cool.
Yeah. So blindfolding.
Okay.
Whether you're actually tasting, I mean, you can play with food doing this. It's a blast.
Must be seeded first.
Like raspberry, cheese, try to pull a little smorgasbord of food together, and also have cider. Have 3 different ciders and then a few nibbles, and try it blindfolded. See what happens when you do that. I think that you'll find that you've just enhanced your ability to smell things and taste things.
This is a great scene to do right now at this moment of time with COVID and all that, to do a blindfolded tasting. Very fun. I didn't ever think of that, huh? So you're actually removing your senses to really...
I surprised you.
You did. I did not expect that. Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's one tip. So one tip is try just focusing on that one sense by
make it fun.
Closing off another one for a short amount of time and experiment with that. And the other, I would say the other thing that I've learned is that you don't always get it on the first sip. You just don't. When you and I were doing the quince, there were times that it took 3 times for me to pick up a something. Whether there might be something right in the edge, but it takes that third sip for it to come forward. And then once you taste it, then it's like it's always been there. But that I think you have to allow yourself. You have to allow yourself to take your time with it, because it took a long time for it to land in that glass, and it deserves that respect of time.
So true. Well said. Yeah, it really does.
And so I would say, don't put pressure on yourself if you can't. If you're new to this and you're like, I don't taste vanilla. What is she talking about? It may be the cider that you're drinking that doesn't have vanilla in it. It's not, or what tastes strongly. Like some people taste tobacco in cider, and not everyone does. it's an opportunity to learn, to keep learning, to keep practicing. It's like anything. You want to play an instrument, you have to play it every day. So have a cider every day. Just one. I'm promoting cider. Yay!
Definitely.
So keep trying. Keep trying. You know, I mean, I'm not going to like every single cider that's out there. No one is.
There's a cider for every palate.
There is definitely a cider for every palate. So keep trying. Keep trying.
Yeah.
And have fun with it.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more about that, but that blindfold yourself, definitely got to try that.
Oh, it's a must.
I love that.
It's a must.
Winter 2021 kind of thing.
Make sure your scene is safe. Don't leave glasses everywhere that you might knock over.
Best to do with someone else if you can, but if you can't, just you still could do it.
You absolutely can do it.
I like that because it really it forces you on a different level than just covering the bottle. That's really.
If you've never done it before, it'll be an enlightening experience and have fun.
Do it, Ciderville, huh? Well, I want to hear from some folks. I know. I want to hear some folks that might be doing that. Why not? All right. Well, Nose, I really, really appreciate you being here once again for the season culmination episode, the 250th episode. 250. I don't know how many hours that is. I'm going to add those up over the course of these 5 years. But to have you here and to be able to do this with somebody who's kind of seen it from the beginning, I really appreciate it and look forward to the 300th episode.
As do I. Thank you so much. I really appreciate being here. I'm so excited to be here, and I can't wait to party with you in the Palms. Oh my God, I saw Mr. Quince's hat. Did you tell me that? Did I hear that came out of Perry's closet?
Well, Perry doesn't know that yet. Okay. Perry hasn't seen.
We got to keep that on the down low.
This is for his comedy routine that he's gearing up. I saw him practicing a little bit, but I don't want to say anything more. You know, the quiz.
I saw he was hiding behind a tree. It was really cute.
It's not easy. He's kind of bulging out on the edge, wasn't he? Yeah, there's going to be a fun night ahead. So should we head to the after party?
Let's go.
Well, Ciderville, that was fun hanging out with you, the Nose, and the Talking Palms. Before I roll out of here, I'd like to just share 2 more items of interest, I hope. One is, if you're looking for some fun cider swag, look no further than the Cider Chat swag store at TeePublic. There'll be a link in the show notes, or you could just Google Cider Chat TeePublic. For this 250th episode, I've just released a new t-shirt design, and it is really basically the same apple that you're seeing on social media for the 250th episode, which is an apple with headphones. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun to design, and I hope you will too. There's also other designs to choose from too, so wait no further. Go to the Cider Chat TeePublic store now and get some swag. And then the other reminder is that at the very end of this rollout, you're going to be hearing some of the voices that were on Season 5. Always a fun thing for me to do at the year's end, and I hope you'll enjoy it too. This is Rio Windcaller, signing off for now. Looking forward to seeing you in Ciderville.
Hello, this is Ian Merwin from Black Diamond Farm and Cider. We're located in Trumansburg, New York, in between Cayuga and Seneca Lake.
Hello, this is Eric Schatt from Redbird Orchard Cider, located in Burdett, the Finger Lakes of New York.
Hello, this is Steve Seelan from South Hill Cider, located in Ithaca, New York.
Hi, this is James Mann.
And Colleen O'Sullivan
Of Duckchicken Cider, South London, England.
Hi, this is Dana Bushhouse of Crooked City Cider Tap House, located in Jack London Square in Oakland, California.
Hi, this is Olivia Mackey.
And I'm Mike Reese.
Of Redfield Cider Bar and Bottle Shop, located in the Rockridge neighborhood of beautiful Oakland, California.
Hi, this is Daniel Emerson of Stonewall Cider, located in County Cork in Ireland.
Hi, this is Kim Hamblin and Dan Rinke from Art and Science, based in rural Yamhill County, Oregon.
Hey, my name is Andy Hallett, and you shouldn't take me too seriously. Hi, this is Alex from Rebel Apple Alternative Cider in Moscow, Russia, and you are listening to Cider Chat.
My name is Arnold Nazarian. I'm French. I live in the suburbs of Paris. I'm interested since less than 10 years in a very rare fruit tree, which is named Sorbus domestica.
This is Ryan Monkman from Prince Edward County, Ontario.
Hi, this is Kim Jordan of the Philadelphia Orchard Project.
Hi, this is Kirsten.
And this is Christopher Shockey. We're the authors of the Big Book of Cider Making.
Hi, this is Alina Lokteva of Ugly Cake Cider, located in Moscow, Russia.
Hi, this is Olga Yefremova of Truba Cider, located near to Moscow.
Hi, this is Yelena Tukina of Nightberg Brewery, located in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Hi, this is Maxim Brecht of Maxim Brecht Ciders, located in Moscow.
Hi, how's it going? This is Ben Robertsano, and I'm the head cider maker at Stormalong Cider, here to talk about cleaning.
Hey, I'm Bright McConnell, and I'm the operations manager.
I'm Shannon Edgar, and I just push the brooms around here.
What he really means to say is that he is the extremely hardworking owner of this fine establishment.
And you are listening to Cider Chat.
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 We like cider, we like ponds, we love orchards and having fun. There is a reason why we do it like this. Oh yes there is.
There is a reason why we do it like this.
Oh yes there is.
There is a reason why we drink it like this.
Oh yes there is a reason. We like walking through the orchards, dancing in the streets, smelling all the blossoms, kicking up our feet. We like cider, we like ponds, we like orchards, having some fun. There is a reason why we do it like this.
Oh yes there is.
There is a reason why we do it like this.
Oh yes there is.
There is a reason why we drink it like this.
Oh yes there is.
There is a reason. We like walking through the orchards, dancing in the streets, smelling all the blossoms, kicking up our feet.
Oh yeah.
We like cider.
Oh yes we do.
We like ponds.
Oh yes we do.
We love orchards, having some fun. There is a reason why we do it like this.
Ba-da-da-dum.
There is a reason why we do it like this.
Ba-da-da-dum.
There is a reason why we drink it like this.
Ba-da-da-dum.
Ba-da-da-dum. We like walking down the orchards, dancing in the streets, smelling all the blossoms, kicking up our feet.
Oh yeah.
We like cider.
Ba-da-da-dum.
We like ponds.
Oh yes we do.
We like orchards, having some fun.
Yeehaw!